Hey, we got a visitor this morning.
Good morning.
Francis. Where are you from, Francis?
I'm from North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina.
So this morning I have a question for you. If you want to disconnect from all the noise and the haste and just take a moment here in nature at the Sea of Galilee, and the question will be this morning, how is your level of trust in God?
Oh, it's getting better.
No, that's not for you. It's for everybody. And we have two great pieces about trust in God this morning. Even though the sun hasn't come out, we know it's there. It's behind the clouds. And that's kind of the issue with the praying and trusting in God. Here we have Queen Esther, and she's in dire trouble because her people are going to face extinction. And if you look at the text, it's very interesting. It actually is this more or less the same as what we were talking about yesterday, joining the dots. And she's able to recall both her own history and her people's history, to lean into God and say, you got to help us. We know you help us. You've always helped us. You've brought us through the thick and the thin. And it's not just like she's commanding God because of what he has done in the past in favor of the people and saying you have to do it that way, but it's like appealing, and also from her own humility. What's that? Oh, that's just a stick. I thought it was a strange, one of those strange...
A snake.
No. What do you call them? The animals, the porcupines, the wild boar, they have this...
Quill.
The quills, exactly, the quills. Yeah, the quills. Okay, so Esther is... I should go back and show you that so you can see why I was talking about that. Here, a little bit of nature, disconnecting from the rest of the world. But I just saw that kind of quickly, that there, and it looked like it. Sometimes the quills have two colors, black and white, and then I thought this is a new variety, but then thanks be to God, Francis came here from all the way from Greensboro, North Carolina, and he said, no, it's a quill. I couldn't find the word. But this is part of the Stroll Chat to be aware of nature, to be tuned in, to hear the birds in the morning. And it's a foggy morning and the sun is hiding. And sometimes that's the way it is with God. But Esther is calling out and saying, God, come and help us. And the second part of her memory is that she says, I'm an orphan. I'm an orphan. That means I have nothing. I'm the queen, but I'm an orphan. I'm an orphan. I was a little child as an orphan, and my uncle was very kind in the family, and he took care of me, and he raised me. But by myself, I would have nothing if it wasn't for God's providence through my uncle. I'm an orphan. To come before God in our deep humility, that we're asking God for a huge favor. We're not telling God what he has to do. We're not talking to God like we're God and saying, you go and get that drink of water for me now. It's a wonderful interior attitude, recognizing our place before God, letting God be God, and me being me. And it's a great place to develop in that trust, the memory of the people, the way the people experience God's providence to come out of Egypt, the whole story of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the formation of God's people, despite even their own infidelities, despite their, sometimes I wondered if they were Irish, these Jewish people, because they have such a hard head. At least we're famous for a hard head, but sometimes then the other people say we're the hard-headed ones. I've met people from Catalan people or Bavarian people. They said there are two things that share with the Irish, that both Catholic peoples in general, culturally, both drink a lot and both have a hard head. So, this people is very hard-headed, and yet God has he chose this people to show us that we can all do it, that we can all get around to trust in him. And the second part of the equation this morning is very nice because it's here at the Sea of Galilee. in this nature, in the early morning, the disciples are discovering Jesus. And they're learning from him how to pray. And today he has another piece that's actually in the Sermon on the Mount. And it's about the trust we should have in the Father. Now, he's saying that not just because of the memory of the people, and I'm sure he's more than familiar with the story of Esther and that great trust that she has, or other great prayers we have in the Hebrew Scriptures. But he is the Son of the Father. And he has revealed to us how the Father is. And this is amazing. This is so beautiful. Knock and the door will be opened for you. Ask and it will be given to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds. And this is about prayer as well. That, seeking and finding, God is behind the clouds. In my life, there are big problems today. Big challenges in the world today, politically. Threats of war. We don't seem to be able to get over that type of psychology. In part, maybe it's because the media exploit that tension, and so it keeps us in front of our nose the whole time. And before, when these big decisions were being made by kings, there wasn't WhatsApp and there wasn't immediate communication, so that most of the people could still hear the birds in the morning and not have that rumblings of war in their ears all the time. And here's Jesus saying, ask and you will receive. And maybe that could be a big ask today. Lord, look on your people. Give us the great dependence of heart on you. Let us trust in you. Let us hear you. Let us have peace in our heart with our neighbors, with our own family, with a spouse, with a child, with a sibling, with a neighbor at work. Let us be part of this equation of peace growing in this world. Let us train new generations for peace. That could be a great one to ask for today. Which of you would hand his son a stone when he asks for a loaf of bread? Our parents are so happy to get an ice cream for their child when the child wants the ice cream. Much more essential is to have a decent meal, right, as well. And that's what parents spend their life working. They spend themselves to provide for their child. And look at that example Jesus is pointing out. Imagine the Heavenly Father. He created the sun for us to provide food for us every day, to give us that energy. He created all of the cycles of nature, the incredible DNA, so many things, oxygen, water. It's amazing. It's amazing. People, God bless you. I hope you have a wonderful day today. I had a little bit tight schedule this morning. Thanks be to God, I had a great sleep in last night. Just woke up once the whole night. Happy about that. People I wanted to ask Francis, why are you here? Are you you just dropped off a satellite, or what are you doing here?
Well, my wife and I have been in Magdala for a month now. Actually, today is the anniversary of our month, and we came as volunteers. I even got the shirt on. And a wonderful experience. The community has been incredible, and just been a phenomenal experience. So,
and then you're back now as a pilgrim, right?
Well, yeah, we picked up a tour, and we're touring with 206 Tours. And,
fantastic.
So we're headed to Jerusalem today.
And why did you come as a volunteer?
Just to experience the culture here in Magdala, and then improve my faith a little bit.
Fantastic to grow in your life, your spiritual life. Wonderful. Let's do a selfie moment here, Francis, like we do for signing off in the morning. The sun is still fighting to come out. God bless you all, people. We're really here together. See you later, alligators.